Meeting of the Brother Leader with members of the Russian Duma, thinkers, writers, and men of letters. July 23rd, 2005. First, I would like to welcome you to Libya and thank you for responding to the invitation from the Green Auditorium. The entire world heard on March 2nd, 2005 that I had addressed an invitation to all the influential activists in the world, including professors, thinkers, students, politicians, and writers to come to the Green Auditorium, which would open its doors to them to study the Green Book. I felt that the world was in dire need of studying it and asked the People's Congresses to set aside a special additional budget to accommodate these visitors, scholars, and researchers seeking to study the Green Book, the Jamhuriya system and direct popular democracy. This is a historic day because this is the first meeting held in response to that appeal. It is a meeting at the global level with people from friendly Russia, including professors, thinkers, writers, and members of the Duma. This is a very important meeting because it is held with the first vanguard of politics and thought in the world. It is our hope that this vanguard that came from Russia will be followed by other vanguards from the U.S. Congress, the Chinese People's Assembly, the British House of Lords, and the House of Commons, India, and Europe. We also hope that, in addition to members of parliaments, writers, thinkers, researchers, and students will come to sit in the Green Auditorium and study the Green Book. I believe that the solution lies in the Green Book, but the world has yet to understand it because it has been the subject of a blackout and has been banned in most countries in the world since they know that the Green Book aims to change the world from a world of injustice and exploitation to a world of direct, popular democracy and popular socialism. Those who hold the reins of power do not want to share it with anyone. They ban the Green Book because it instigates those who have never had a stake in power and never participated in it. The Green Book instigates ordinary citizens, common people, the man on the street, the poor, and all of the great masses that are marginalized from power and wealth and are used as cannon fodder in oppressive, exploitative societies where they sustain themselves with the leftovers of the rich and live off the service they provide for those who control power and wealth. This is unfair, unacceptable, unjust, dictatorial, exploitative, and an inhumane situation. It is intolerable and unbearable for us, the simple people, the masses, the poor people who have the right to the land and the right to life. We, the overwhelming majority, do not accept this strategic historical marginalization or this abuse. We do not accept to be in the service of the rich and exploiters and protect the society of exploitation as soldiers and policemen guarding the institutions of the rich and ensuring their comfort. We do not accept to be used by the elite that have imposed itself through dictatorship as cannon fodder in wars for the sake of its capitalist, economic, imperialist interests. The simple, poor, common soldier has no interest in fighting a war outside his country. When he comes back after fighting, assuming he does come back, he has gained nothing. Rather, if he comes back, he is missing an arm, a leg, his sight, his hearing, or even his mind, and sometimes he loses his life itself. It is the ideology of oppression and exploitation that is prevailing in the world today, according to which oppressive forces, by using money, win elections and assume power, while a handful of the moneyed elite enlist this political tool in their service and force the simple and the needy, the overwhelming majority, to suffer, endure hardships, and die for their sake. This handful of politicians and rich people attain this position by the unnatural and illegitimate means of exploitation and the use of money which was acquired by sucking the blood of the workers. A rich man is only rich because there are poor people who serve him out of need, thus he becomes rich, having sucked their blood and exploited their efforts to become rich. These moneyed handfuls are to be found in every country in the world and are the cause of the tragedy of mankind now and of wars, terrorism, actions, and reaction. It is they who are the source of power because a poor man cannot become president except with the backing of the rich, so that every power now is the power of money. There is no democracy at present, but there is only money, which is the source of power. It is illicit money, which did not accumulate in the hands of a wealthy handful because it descended on them from heaven, but was the result of exploitation. This duo of capitalists and oppressive politicians is the cause of the woes and problems plaguing the world. At no time in history and nowhere in the world have ordinary citizens had the readiness, the desire, or the need to go to faraway places to destroy, then, and colonize them. But those who have financial interests are the ones who want to seize the wealth of the others and the power which is their handiwork, force those simple people out of their homes and send them far away to enter other homes with which they have no enmity, to plunder and destroy them and kill their inhabitants, as has happened in every stage of colonialism experienced by mankind. Unfortunately, we had thought that colonialism had come to an end, only to find out that it was renewing itself in a brutal manner. However, it is both positive and tragic that it is now certainly difficult to colonize the land of others, settle in it, and seize its resources, because it is clearly possible now for the colonized to resist and to have access to very effective means of resistance. The ordinary citizen is capable of packing his car with explosives and blowing it up and blowing himself up. The possibilities are now widely available thanks to the information revolution and the spread of science and knowledge. Thus, arms smuggling and arms trafficking are no longer under control. In the past, colonialism succeeded because it was not possible for peoples to resist fiercely, as is the case now. Back then, arms were limited and factories were owned by the invader or the colonizer, while the others were unarmed, thus making them vulnerable and exposing their land to invasion, destruction, and seizure. It was not. It was not possible then for the peoples to make weapons or explosives because all these things were unknown to them. Now, some arrogant powers do not take this transformation into account and believe that colonialism can be effected easily as it was in the past. But colonialism now, unlike the past, is a difficult enterprise. It is short-lived and cannot take root in the land of others because those others are now capable of manufacturing weapons and explosives. Manufacturing these has become universally accessible thanks to the internet, which provides access to the state-of-art sciences. Colonialism is still practiced, but this time in the face of fierce resistance that was possible in the past. Such a development is, of course, tragic, as one person can blow himself up and kill scores of people. From a humanitarian point of view, we say this is tragic because large numbers of people are killed using modern means, but this same colonialism possesses lethal means, including nuclear bombs, and the means of destruction are now, unfortunately, available for both sides. However, the positive aspect is that it makes it difficult for the imperialists and the colonialists to seize the land of others and settle therein, but achieving this result involves great sacrifices and major losses for both sides.